Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Stephen, welcome back.
Do you feel like it's a bit of chaos when I come on every time?
No, it's good. I always enjoy having you on. We haven't had any guests recently that you've been on with me, but there'll be more, guys. Definitely enjoy having Stephen as a co-host. But today we just wanted to have a kind of a conversation between the two of us, and it's helping us get clarity on what we want to be doing. So you guys know that I sold the Amazon Legends Group, Business Building Legends Group, to Jimmy Smith back in May. And since then, I've been working on a lot of different things, but also it's kind of like, imagine it's like somebody who, Stephen, you're around a lot of people who are older than you. They retire, and then it's like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? These are a lot of people you know that are, they're doers. They don't want to just sit around at home doing nothing. So I feel the same way. It's like I don't want to, I want to figure out what I'm supposed to be about during this season. And the Lord has definitely given me some projects to be working on. But one thing that Stephen and I know is that we work very, very, very well together. We enjoy having conversations with people. It's always fun talking to entrepreneurs and helping them figure out the next steps. Stephen has called it Grand Central Terminal is what we feel like, where literally, why don't you explain what that means so you can jump in here?
Yeah, I guess to go back on what you're saying about a change. We read that book Halftime together, and I think that was very impactful on me to go like, oh, the first half of most people's lives is like the hustle part. Then you get to a point where something happens and you can make that change and go, either I'm going to double down on this hustle and grow, or move more into like, what am I called to do? I think we both kind of hit that point at the same time, and that's why I'm very excited in the next chapter of what we're doing together, because I do feel like we worked extremely well together and help a bunch of people. The last 2 years have been very exciting to me. But the concept of this Grand Central Station is we both have very large networks. We both have a lot of experience online, offline, real estate, more investing now recently. It's just like there's a lot of outlets that we have. And I feel most of the time when we're talking to people, it's not necessarily a me and you helping the person with a solution. It's more of us pointing people to another person that can help them with email, website, technical, sales copy, all those different things. That's not necessarily what our skill is doing those things, but it's our skill, I think, to recognize a pain point that someone's having and then point them in the right direction to help them. And the feedback that we get is always very positive, going, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that was the thing I was really struggling with. And that person that you sent me to has taken me to the next level. It's so good. And I just was like, this should be something we do more. I don't necessarily know how to do it unless we're having more conversations, but I go to a McDonald's almost every morning, talk to older guys, and they are constantly helping people, problem solving, teaching people about real estate, just kind of anything. It's almost like a group of, to me, older uncles. I know that's probably not what they see it as, but to me, I'm like way younger. I think the next youngest person is like 60 that goes consistently. And it's that feel is what I think me and you bring. It's like we're just trying to help. I don't think there's any like secondary motive where like, oh, we're going to do this and then this is how we do. Right. We like helping people. We're in a second half of where I've been blessed enough to be able to take time off and not have to hunt for the dollar. We have real estate, we have a portfolio, we have other things that are coming in, and then just being able to go, how do I serve and truly serve? And it's not necessarily just me picking up a hammer and doing it, but like if you need that, I can show you or tell you about the person that can do that, and they're going to do it a much better job because that's what their skill is, and that's the pain point that I feel you have, and then we can connect those people.
Absolutely. We are connectors. We've done that for a lot of people, but we've also gone deep with a few people. We'll talk about Melissa and her story in a minute. We'll probably even get her on this. I'm sure we'll have her on to talk about this because she's an awesome success story for us, you and me, for us coming alongside somebody, partnering with her and launching a business or helping her launch a business. So, but I wanted to bring up For those of you just listening only, you'll just have to imagine this just for a second. But if you, watch Peanuts, Snoopy and Charlie Brown and Lucy, there's a little stand that Lucy creates, and it says psychiatric help 5 cents. The doctor is in. So it made me, as Stephen and I were talking on Tuesday, this image came to mind of Stephen and I literally being behind this desk, and we would say business help 5 cents, or whatever, $5 or free. I mean, most of the time we're doing this for free when we're talking to people, pointing them in the right direction. But I guess I would want to say is that, the doctors are in, the business advisors are in, Grand Central Station is open. We really do want to help. We've done it multiple times. It happens organically. People will just say, hey, you need to talk to my buddies, Ryan and Steven. And we do. And those conversations are so fun, so life-giving for us. And so you may be thinking, well, why would you want to do all this? Well, certainly we do love to help, but there are people, though, that we do feel like we can go deep with. Stephen being an investor and me being an investor too, not as much as he in real estate, but we have that investor mindset, and we know that we have a lot to offer. So yes, for Grand Central's terminal, there are going to be people that need to go to California, and we're just going to say that's the train to California. Here's your ticket. Be safe. For some other ones, it might be come to our office. This is where we're going to help you. We're going to help you launch your business, incubate your business. We just really feel like we can help about anybody in business, not us personally, probably on every person, but we at least know the right people. We can connect you with the right people. We can send you down the right path, put you on that right train. But there are people, though, that we do want to help build their business. And so we've thought about, even saying to people, like, we want to have like a Shark Tank style atmosphere where we may not necessarily invest in your business monetarily. Maybe we do, but that we want to know what your ideas are. Come to us with your ideas, because we do believe that we can accelerate it. We can make it happen faster than if you were doing it on your own. And so there's going to be some people like that we actually come alongside as an investor, maybe monetarily, maybe time, energy, and effort, maybe just
network.
Yeah, maybe just network with them, or send them to somebody else. But so Melissa's a perfect example. Melissa Hughes has been on this podcast 2 or 3 times now, and she is really good with social media. And so she came to us a year ago, and it's amazing that it's only been a year. It seems like we've known her forever, but she's quickly become one of our best friends. And she has a coaching business for social media, but she did not have a done-for-you social media team, an agency where she could take clients and do their social media for them. She was doing that by herself. So when she met us, we connected her to our VAs, our virtual assistants in the Philippines, and now she is launching a social media agency. We've kind of been running it with her for the last few months, but it's essentially where she's going to be doing this, it looks like, on her own. We're going to be an advisor. We're going to get a small cut every month of these packages that she's selling, because she'll tell you this, and we'll get her on this show, but because this is what we want to do with some people that we want to go deep with, like Melissa, whereas we want to accelerate your business so that we can get you to a point to where you much, much, much faster than you could have done on your own. And so we're looking for those types of people. And so there's going to be some people that we work with and some we don't. That's okay. We want to say we're in, the doctors are in, the business advisors are in, and we want to help. So we're just really excited. And I guess this episode is just more about talking this out, trying to help us attract the right person. So quick call to action, and we'll Steve and I'll discuss more, but if this sounds like, hey, I want to be a part of that, I want to be on a call, I want to be in front of you on a call, I'll put my email in the link in the show notes, but also join the free Facebook group we have. It's just called Streams of Income. It's the one I've had for a few years since I wrote the book. But we're starting to do these hangout calls in there for anybody that want to be on these calls, just to hang out. And we're trying to decide, what do we call those calls? To have people have clarity, but that's what this episode's about too, is just to telling you, we want to help. Come to us no matter what your business situation is. You pre-idea, you have an idea, you haven't launched it, you have launched it, you have a business and you're trying to accelerate it, we feel like we can help about anybody in that realm there. And even if you are thinking about you want to sell your business. So, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much the whole gamut of business. We feel like we can at least go deep with somebody and help them or point them in the right direction. And our doors are open and we want to help. So is that the kind of the gist of it?
Yeah, I guess the only part that we talked about also is the heart behind. I think this is the common thread that me and you are most excited about, is like there's a kingdom element to what we are doing. There seems to be Christian entrepreneurs that have business pain points, online, sometimes offline. I feel we give advice from a kingdom minded standpoint. And sometimes it's not a solution for us to hand off to whatever, but we can tell you, hey, here's another Christian business person that understands your heart and what you're trying to do. We want to help you connect with this person to take your business to the next level.
Yep.
We don't have a hand in that. And what Ryan is saying is, yes, we do like the other side of that also, to really dive into your business, especially if it's a kingdom focused business, because we feel if we're helping you, it's helping the kingdom. That's what really gets me excited. But the element of heart in this, I think, is interesting, because there is a lot of, especially online pain points that we have found, run into, struggle with ourselves. There's been a couple of times where I've called Ryan and said, I have a problem with this. Ryan has called me and said, I just don't know where we're going with this. That camaraderie, network, something is the piece that I really want to find. How do we do this more? How do we have more Christian kingdom business conversations that are not solely like, do you have this single problem with emails and we're only going to be talking about this, but it's just like, in general, my business is having this, and this conversation leads into, we've been a part of other groups now where we've been brought in just to have those conversations, and it's been very interesting to see like how the dynamic of that group has changed to have a little bit more kingdom mindedness in, and going, oh, okay, it's not just a problem that I'm having with the emails, but here's a bigger overall problem. Here's how I sell my customers better from a kingdom minded idea, concept, focus. Those conversations is what I think I'm most excited about. Yes, there's a bunch of business that leads out of that, but I think the camaraderie that, like, you're not alone. Right. One, being an entrepreneur is kind of, you're on your own bubble anyway, but then to have a Christian kingdom mindset on top of that feels like you're even part of a smaller community. I think that is what we're trying to foster. I don't know if there's this is what we're building and then we're going to build a membership. It's just like, let's start having these conversations. Let's build this community and find these people that we like talking to and helping and directing people to other people. And then if your business is a service, we want to help provide more kingdom Christian customers to you, so we can all rise that tide. Rising tide rises all ships. That's has been what has really excited me the most in the last 2 years of what we're doing, is to see a larger impact with individuals that we're helping, and then collectively seeing like, oh, there's a bigger thing happening here. Me and you went to a church here in Florida, and they prayed it over us. And this was maybe when we first started doing this. And one of the words that was spoken into us is, we're digging wells that we're not even going to be able to see or understand what we're doing. And it's very exciting now, after a year and a half, to like look back and go like, oh my goodness, we had this conversation with this person, not thinking anything other than just like, they had a pain point, we're going to help. And it wasn't really for anything, but now it's like coming back. Now we're seeing the actual impact that we had changing, and it's becoming more of a part of the other things that we're doing. It's like, this is a lot of wow God. And I want to be able to foster a field where a lot of seeds can be planted and then it grow and then a harvesting. And we had a call with Scott yesterday, and he said, it's not just like a one-time thing. Like when you're a farmer, you constantly prep, seed, plant, take care of, harvest, then take those seeds back into it. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is what I want. I want a continuation of this until I pass. Like, I don't want to do it and then be done and retire. It's like, how do I foster this cycle and be a part of it?
Absolutely. Should we give some examples of like somebody sitting out there thinking, is that me or not? Like, I guess we'd have to say,
I think if there's any kind of tug on
really
you to
is,
think that it's
like,
a you.
Maybe if we can get some, I mean, literally it is anybody that has a business problem or question. I'd say
Just
also
think about
maybe,
some of the things that we've helped people. We've helped Melissa build a actual business with,
Right.
like, not just a solo entrepreneur, but an actual business where she's now the
Yes.
CEO. She has a COO. Fascinating. We've helped other people just with like very small, minute problems where they're going through a crisis, and then we just go, "Hey, here's an opportunity to find work." It's a huge gamut that we're running, and it's
Totally.
not that me and Ryan are the ones doing, and it's just
Sure.
we're pointing people and helping find those problems. So, as an example, I'm not sure, but it does feel
I
like
can name some. We can talk
Okay.
just to give people some things that are concrete in their head to see if it might be them. But I'd say the through line is kingdom-minded entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Because it's always better to have your avatar, like who am I trying to serve? And that for me literally is I love helping entrepreneurs. That's so broad. So if we let's try to narrow it down. Kingdom-minded entrepreneurs is what really jazzes us up, gets us really excited. Some of the problems that we could help, or some of the things we've had. I mean, this has just happened organically over the last few years. But if you are just about to start a business, or you have some ideas, we love the brainstorming process. That's so super fun. It's always helpful to have somebody you're bouncing those ideas off of. Or if you we help people that have said, you know what, these are my skill sets, or they're not even sure what their skill sets are. I mean, literally 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was talking to somebody, and they wanted to make money online. That's it. They had a really good why. They want to spend more time with their girls. And I went through some scenarios, and on 2 or 3 podcasts ago, I talk about this. I walked her through like what would be to help her narrow it down from I want to have a business to now she's got 2 to 3 things that she's going to try. And it looks like she's going to try an eBay business because her girls and her love going to garage sales. Absolutely love it. She wants to spend more time with them, and she wants something that she can it can make money even if she's at her regular job. And that's eBay is that. You can definitely now there's things you have to do. It's not crazy passive at all, but that resonated with her. And she happens to be a friend at church, and she wants to get together with Melaine and I to talk more about what that looks like. But it could be brainstorming your idea. That's super fun for us. It's always helpful to have somebody look in. Stephen and I always say you can't read your own label. You might, the thing that comes easy to you might be the very thing that is your business, because you just overlook it because you think, well, that's so easy. Everybody knows how to do that. Well, they don't know how to do that, and people will pay you for that. So
That statement sounds wild,
yeah.
especially on the other side of it, but it is a true statement. And I think that is a core piece of what we're able to do is like draw that out and then show a business, or at least a way to make money.
We can give them a blueprint. So if you're thinking about a business, maybe you have some ideas, maybe you don't, we can help create a blueprint, or at least some item, narrow it down from way up here, I want to make money online or have a business and I don't know what it is, down to after a call with us, you'll have some things that at least that you can test out or pray about moving towards. If you already have an idea, we probably we'll be able to on a call be able to map out a whole blueprint for you. It's like, this is what you should do, this, and this. Now, maybe we'll come alongside you and do some of those. Maybe we'll hand you a VA. Here's a VA that you can pay to help you launch this. Here's a course you should take. Here's a friend of ours that help you with Facebook ads. You need to connect with Melissa for social media. You need to start a podcast. Well, we have a buddy that can help you start a podcast. Like, there's just for that person that has an idea, we can get you a blueprint on exactly what you need to do. If you are at a point where your business is going well, but you need to scale it, you're in your business, you're not working on it, you're too much in it. Well, you need a team. So we would do what we did with Melissa. We'll get you a team and attach that team to you. And now you've got a team of people that you can offload some of those 80% stuff, so you can work on the 20% that really grows your business. And then if you're like, you've been doing business for a while and you're kind of, maybe you're thinking about selling, we can point you in the right direction there too, because I've been through that process. So
or even just the concept of, I think when I learned about you having an exit, and then kind of you were gracious enough to let me see kind of a little bit behind the scenes of what was happening, it was a lot of times during that process where it was just like, if I would have known this information, I could have sold this business instead of gasoline, fire, burn it down and moving on. There's just a lot of ahas. I think maybe that's what I enjoy most of the last 2 years working with you explicitly on this is how many people have said, "Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was possible." Like those are the things that very light me up to just go like, "Oh, you didn't even know this was available." Because that happens to me a bunch too. When you went through that exit, I was just like, there was so many businesses I could have sold that I built up and scaled and just burned. I didn't even know this was an option, and it just really radicalized how I view business now. And just going like, "Oh, I can invest into these things and really help." And even Exit Consultant was what the business broker just informed me of, and I was just like, "Oh, I could do this," and now I'm part of businesses,
it doesn't have to be your whole
helping them
business.
go through that
Some
process.
of you have ideas that things you've done in the past. Maybe you created a course a long time ago and it's just sitting there. You've not done anything with it. Well, that's still an asset. You might be able to sell it. Somebody might be willing to, take that and almost do like a consignment deal with you. Like, I'll take this course, I'm going to fix it up, I'm going to resell it, and then we'll split the profits in some way. Like, there's just so much opportunity. But you kind of need somebody else to talk to kind of see. It's so hard to see all the assets that we have. Like you and I, Stephen, we're literally talking on Tuesday about what are we going to be doing over these next 6 months. And it was like, it's hard for us in our business to see, but we tried to back up and we got clarity by the end of the call. But somebody else could have come right in and said, you guys have this, and this. And we're like, oh yeah, we do. It's just helpful to have that third party look into it. And we can provide that for you. Yeah. So come hang out with us. My email is ryan@ryanrieger.com. I'm very serious to email me. Get into the Streams of Income Facebook group, because we're going to be doing at least 2 different hangouts for that group in January. Literally all these are just open Zoom calls. Anybody can jump on and you can listen in, or if you have a problem, kind of be on the hot seat and just say, hey, I got this problem, or literally any question that you might have about business. Now, we may not know every answer. We're certainly not, the experts of every problem, but we probably know somebody you could contact.
And I think if you go back and watch the older calls too, it's very interesting that even on calls, there are other people in there that have solutions for or connections with, because there were the last 2 calls that we had, other people saying, oh, that's actually what I do. And then we connect them there on the call. It's just, again, allowing God to show up in those areas. But if you've heard this and that doesn't tug on your heartstrings, I don't know what to tell you, but we are truly looking for just ways to serve people. And we'd like to do it in a little bit more of a community setting. Not to say if you have a question, you just want to talk to Mariah and Ryan, that you have to go through this. We're open to anything, but we have found that these group conversations are allowing other people to like listen in, build up the comfort and confidence, and then say, oh, I do actually have a question.
Yeah.
Some of the one-on-one calls, it's like they don't quite know how to feel us out, but I think in these group calls, they go, oh, they are just answering questions and they are pointing people in the direction. I now have a question I'm looking to get answered, and then we can help them with that. It is a interesting dynamic, but those 2 calls, I believe, are recorded and put in there. You can hear, even the very first one that we did was like a little awkward, because you were like, all right, who has a question? And then nobody was really talking. I was just like, oh, okay. We kind of really have to maybe jumpstart some of these conversations to get this thing rolling.
Somebody might ask, how much does it cost to get on a call with us? Well, right now it's free, because we do want to
5
help.
cents.
And yes, 5 cents. You can give us 5 cents. I'll send you a PayPal invoice for 5 cents. I mean, no. The reason is we love having these calls, so they are free. But for us, we are looking for people that we can work with. And there's going to be some people, again, like we're not going to be able to help personally. We'll just send you on your merry way and to somebody else that can really help. And that's fine. We're not going to, charge for that. But there are some people that we can go deeper with, and there may be an opportunity for us to become a part of your business or help you launch it. Maybe we launch your thing to My List and we split profits in some way. So there is an opportunity for us to eventually make money from this. I mean, we got to eat too, but that's not our primary focus. We love to help, and we just know we can. And so that's but it's free to come hang out with us. What else?
How do you feel after selling your business, I guess, now? Because I think I probably asked you that. I don't remember if it was on call or not, but you said excited, nervous. But now, how do you feel? Is the excitement still there? Is the nervousness still there? Do you feel like you have a clear
I mean, there's
direction?
still some nervousness because, I mean, I'll be candid. I mean, I've mentioned this on the show before. It's like, well, what's the next big thing? Because nothing that we've done so far has equaled to what I was doing in Legends, financially. So there's always that, God, I know you told me to do this. So what's the next thing? I mean, I'm not going to go get a job. So, I mean, yes, I got paid from the sale, but if you guys, it's almost like you
Seed
start,
corn.
yes, again, I'm planting lots of seeds, but also it's that monthly recurring revenue is the king of all income, in my opinion, for a business. And I essentially lost that. Or I didn't lost, I sold that to somebody else. And so now I want to build that back up again. And so yes, I've been able to do things here and there, and God's blessed us, and he's met our needs. But I want that MRR back. That is you got to get there as a business owner. And that's one thing I feel like Stephen and I can really help with, is we can help you with memberships. And we can anytime we talk to somebody, it often leads to, you should start a membership. And I'm glad you mentioned this, because it brings up that membership idea. That's a great way to have that monthly recurring revenue. And almost any type of content, or almost any type of business could have a MRR attached to it in some way, whether that is a software, a done for you service, a membership where they're getting content and coaching, whatever. But go for that MRR. And that's something that we were very passionate about, because that's how you stay in business. You got that money you can count on every single month. This is coming in every single month. Just takes the pressure off.
Yeah, I think that's what allows me to have more time to try to help and serve. That major waterfall. I mean, I love that picture that you have, the multiple streams. Like, the major flow of water has changed, and we are now looking for, all right, what is that? But it hasn't stopped all the streams of income coming in. It's just the major flow has changed, and we're trying to figure it out. But having multiple streams and just having the ability to understand that the cash is less important than the cash flow, that is something that I think, as we're helping people, this is what we're trying to point out. Like, you could do this one thing and get a large payout, but this other thing that you do could be a monthly reoccurring, and that's the thing that you can help build a base, a foundation off of, to allow you to do other things. I think that's why I'm able to now focus almost purely on investing. We have a bunch of things that are kind of coming in. I am looking for a major business piece, but all the other stuff that I'm doing allows me to have my time to help people, serve people, find out. I thought it would be another Stephen business that I'm building, but now I'm seeing, like, oh, it's, to me, more exciting and more beneficial to help other people and get a percentage of those businesses, because it's a win-win. I think even with what I was doing with you was just like, here's what I'm trying to do, here's what you're trying to do, how does it line up? All right, let's move in this direction and see. And it's impacting and affecting more people. That's way more exciting than me just having one big business that's doing this thing. It's just like, oh, I'm seeing my impact multiply out with a lot of helping a lot of other people that then serve a lot more people. It's very exciting.
Yep, I agree. I think that's all I got. It doesn't need to be a long episode today. Just wanted to let you guys know that the doctors are in, if you call us doctors or business advisors, but we do want to help. Email me, get into the Facebook group. We're going to be doing at least a couple of, I don't know if we're going to call them coffee hangouts. We're trying to decide what to call those. If you have some ideas, let us know.
Yeah, that is probably a bigger call. We're not good at naming things. If you have a name or a suggestion,
what can we? So these are Zoom calls that everybody's invited to in the group, where we
call them getting coffee, but we found that
coffee hangouts. But one of the people in the last said, "Well, you should probably name it something different," because they weren't really sure what they were getting into. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. We just really do want to hang out and just talk to people about business and point you in the right direction. Maybe work with some of you and in some way, but I don't know what to call that. We thought about putting something with Shark Tank in there, because people understand what that is, but it's not like, it doesn't have to be one-on-one. It could be in a group, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, and I guess other than the Shark Tank where they're like multiple entrepreneurs kind of bidding for, we're collaborative. We don't necessarily like, oh, Ryan's going to get this deal, now it's going to not go my. How does it would be like if Shark Tank, if all of the sharks worked together? Imagine if Mark Cuban and everybody else on that panel helped the business together. It would be way more powerful. So that's the maybe reverse of what we're trying to do. Instead of it being super competitive sharks.
Right.
How do we collectively collaborate?
The dolphin tank. Dolphins are nicer.
I don't know, some name, but that I think the collaborative co-oping,
Right.
let's help each other is
Yeah.
what we're truly after. Because I mean, we're just seeing it in a very short period of time. Just go like, oh, because we've helped this business together, it's now benefiting helping this other business.
Yes.
Melissa, almost the first couple of months that we worked with her, we partnered up with somebody else. Then they had a class together, and then it was even more powerful. It was just
Yes.
like, oh. It doesn't have to be a competitive space. Business,
No.
I think most people think of like it being
Right.
combative, but I think working with you just made me realize like, oh, it doesn't have to be that way. It can be a lot more collaborative, combined, as long as I think your core values line up. Now, if you're after something else and it doesn't work out, then it might be combative. But to me, if it's kingdom and it's entrepreneurial, I feel like we can help or at least
Absolutely.
point you in the right direction.
Yep. So come hang out with us, guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.